Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I started retwisting my hair, then I realized that I should probably record this, and as I'm retwisting my hair, and then I realized that I've been sharing a lot of videos about different things that I'm doing to take care of my locks and maintain them, but I've not been really sharing too much of myself. So I'm hoping that in this video today, you will get to learn a little bit about me and my journey with locks and what led me to share this content on YouTube. So I started retwisting my hair yesterday, which has been a lifesaver. I found out that if I retwist in sections rather than trying to do it all in one day, it's much easier. So what I've done is I've gone through most of my hair and then I saved a small little section because I already have a video about how I go about retwisting my hair. I'll just show you what I'm doing right now as of today. It seems like my retwist method changes quite a bit. Every time I retwist, I find out something new. I try something different, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But my hair is in a bonnet right now, so most of it is retwisted. This right here is all done. I'll show you. You know, something that I'm really excited about is the fact that I decided to use a comb to split apart my parts because I realized that I had no parts. But now my parts are more visible and more defined. So I went through majority of the hair. I'll show you what the back looks like. So I went through my hair and now I just have this little section that I'm going to be retwisting as I'm talking more about my lock journey and this channel and the content that I share in hopes of you learning more about me. I should have probably like 4 or 5 left to do. So the first thing that I'd like to share is why did I start sharing this content on Instagram and on YouTube? I started my lock journey the year before last year. So it would have been 2019 around August or September. And I just had 2-strand twists installed in my hair. My mom installed the 2-strand twists and I decided to leave them. One thing that I realized once I started the journey is, first I thought I could just wing it. As I went on, I realized that there's more to this than just leaving your hair and letting it grow however it needs to grow. As I was learning and as I was experiencing different things with my hair, I would search on Instagram and I would search on YouTube for videos about what to do. But I found that I was either seeing videos of people who are advanced in their lock journey, or I would see content that wasn't really teaching me what I needed to know about my hair, which I'll talk a little bit about why I chose to lock my hair to begin with. Part of it was I wanted to be able to deal with my own hair. I've shared this in a different video, but when I was Lucy Natural, I would always try and find styles that would mimic my natural hair. So I would either be found having 2-strand twists, and what I'm gonna do right now that's different from different times that I've retwisted is I'm using a comb to separate the parts, because I've realized that when I haven't been using the comb, my sections have been kind of merging together and it's been hard to see where a new lock starts and another lock starts. So I'll just be using that as what you'll be seeing me doing. But I would always gravitate towards styles that would mimic natural hair. For my wedding, I had the kinky coily extensions because I always wanted something that looked like me. However, I never left my natural hair out. I would wear it in an afro, then I always felt like I needed to do something with it to increase the length. So after some time, I was like, you know what, my hair is not bad. I just don't know how to care for it. And I decided that locks were the best option for me because I tried the loose natural look and it was just a lot of maintenance. And as you know, in the last few years, so much in the natural hair community has come out. I'm using one of these, which I'll link below, to retwist my hair with or interlock my hair with. I use a 2-point rotation. I have a tutorial out about that as well. So there was so much information, which was great, but I just felt like it was overwhelming and I didn't feel like our hair was that complicated to work with. But because I didn't really know what to do, and over the years I've been so used to covering my hair using extensions, I wanted something that would be low maintenance, and I could easily transition into, locks felt like a good fit for me. As I was learning and as I realized that my hair was actually thriving without too much effort, because as a loose natural, you know, when you have all these products and you're doing all these things, you learn about the lock method, you learn about hair conditioning, all these different things. I just felt like it was too burdensome. And looking back at it, I actually did not have to follow all those tips, but my locks were thriving with little effort. And I felt, let me just share this journey because there's so much that I'm learning. At first, I was just sharing the information just because I felt like sharing it. I didn't think that there was a whole community for people who were dedicated to caring for locks. Within the community, there are two different groups. There are people who just want support, want to talk about locks, they have questions along their journey, and then they're more laid back. And then there's the more extreme side where they have guidelines they want to follow, like grids is what I've seen, where your parting has to be a certain way, your hair has to look a certain way. It's a more manicured look, which when I researched locks before I got them originally, when the Rastafarians had them, it was meant to provide freedom in your lifestyle. And that's something that I was definitely looking for, where I wouldn't have to spend too much time in my hair. I just wanted to show a realistic hair routine and hair care journey that someone else might be able to use, because I've loved my locks since I've gotten them, because number one, I have so much freedom. I don't have to spend too much time on my hair, and two, it's my hair. I don't have to worry about repositioning a wig or whether extensions match my hair or not. It's simply my hair, and that's the biggest thing that I love about them. So the way I started them, as I mentioned, was 2-strand twists and just left them. And as they grew, I would Google things and search things. I learned through trial and error. Sometimes things worked out, sometimes they didn't, and I documented that on my Instagram. Naturally, I'm not a person who's big about having an online presence, but I started getting questions in my inbox about locks, and at that point I was like, I myself don't really know what I'm doing. And even right now as I'm sharing, I'm learning as I go. I don't think anyone really is an expert, and our hair is so different that what works for mine might not work for somebody else. It's made me and has forced me to just discover a routine, learn about what my hair needs instead of trying to copy and paste what someone else is doing with their hair in hopes of it working for mine. Not saying that there are things out there that people might know that could be helpful for my hair, but I think one thing that we lack is education on how to care for our hair. For some reason, it's just much easier to go to a hairstylist to do it for you. You'll hear oftentimes people say things like, I don't want to deal with my hair is too hard to manage, or I'm just gonna cover it up. And I didn't want to be that way. I wanted to know what to do with my hair. When it was dry, I wanted to know what it needed, what it was telling me. When it was frizzy, I wanted to understand why it was that way. I find that a lot of times women of color, we depend on products and other people to tell us what our hair needs or how to take care of our hair. Part of it too was like, if I'm ever in a position where I'm in a country or a place where I don't have access to a lot of hair care products or a lot of different things, will I be able to survive with my hair as it is? And right now I can confidently say that I'm at that place, but when I started my lock journey, I wasn't. All of this is just basically me documenting what I am learning as I go through the process. And then identity came into play, especially during the quote unquote ugly stage where your hair is just frizzy and doing a lot of things and you hear so much. Then I started to really look at myself and think about, how have I defined beauty, which I talk about in a different video, but I think I'm going to go in depth because that aligns with my Christian journey, which is a big part of my identity and lessons that I was able to learn through that. It's so interesting that locks, something as simple thing as locks, can do this for you. I'm really thankful for this journey, and right now no one can tell me anything about my hair because I feel like it's the best thing, one of the best things that I did, and I don't necessarily have to rely on anyone to care for it for me. So I have one more left, and this one's a little bit bigger. I think this needs to be split into 2 separate locks, but it's so locked and I think it's so advanced and where it is right now that splitting it might not be the best option. So I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with it. And that's another thing too, not being afraid of making mistakes or learning. There are things about my locks that I love, and there are things that I definitely would change because some of the things I was learning as I went and I didn't really know what I was doing. But so that's a little bit about my lock journey. Right now, I love my locks. I can say that I am fully locked. My twist pattern is completely gone. So I'm almost 2 years locked, and this is where I am. If I was going based off of the videos that I was seeing before where people were 2 years locked, I think I would have been so discouraged looking at my hair at this length because I would have thought that in 2 years I'm gonna have longer hair. Right now I'm just waiting for my hair to just do what it wants to do. Every month I feel like it's looked different since the beginning of this year. If you are thinking about starting a lock journey or you're in the middle of a lock journey, the biggest thing that I would say is don't focus too much on what's going on around you, the noise. Take tips and try them out. If they don't work for you or if they work for you, it's just all a part of the journey. Actually, I kind of like this, like the way the roots look like this, but I'm gonna see if I can clean it up. Sometimes I'll use a crochet hook or needle if I feel like it might work out a little bit better. So I'm not sure if I completely know what I'm doing with this section. I think I'm gonna go through and I'm almost done. And you know what I'm gonna do with this one? I'm just going to just kind of push it over that way. I think the little pieces are in the lock. I'm gonna wait till it grows out a little bit and then I'll twist it properly, but that's fine. My edges, I don't do much with them. These I just twisted on the ends. And if you're wondering what products I use to retwist, I'm just gonna spray water around my hair, which I've been spraying water as I go. You don't want to retwist dry hair. And then I have this oil mixture. That is basically the retwist. So 20 or 21 months locked. This is where my hair is. I'd encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching this video and I will see you on the next one.